The pick is in.
The Chicago Blackhawks have made another selection in the 2024 NHL Draft. I'm Gil Martin, and we are right now joined by Jack Bushman of Locked On Blackhawks to break down Chicago's selection of Sacha Boisvert with the 18th pick presented by Indeed. There is no I in team, but there is one in Indeed, and that's the hiring platform you need to build yours. To upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/lockedon. So, Jack, what does Sacha Boisvert add to the Blackhawks prospect pool?
Yeah, he fills a pretty big need for the Blackhawks up front, Gil. The Hawks have a deep forward group, but they don't have a lot of size in that department. And Sacha Boisvert absolutely provides that. Already 6'2", only listed at 187, 190 pounds right now, but he's known as one of the hardest workers in this draft class. Multiple scouts and analysts have raved about his work ethic, and you can see that on the ice as well, and you see it off of the ice, his desire to get better. He's actually been taking boxing classes. There have been videos of that posted on the internet. So a very hard worker. He's going to North Dakota in the fall, a very prestigious program that has developed a lot of good players in the NHL, but provides some size and some good two-way play, which is very important for the Blackhawks. They needed to address that in this year's draft, and that's what they got at number 18 here with Sacha Boisvert, Gil.
What is the one thing you think he needs to work on the most to get to be NHL ready?
Yeah, so he definitely needs to work on his foot speed and his playmaking. I think those are the two biggest weaknesses in his game, and is kind of why I thought 18 was a little bit of a reach for him, just because I think that caps his ceiling a little bit. But again, this does really fit a need for the Blackhawks. And I mentioned that desire to get better. You know, Sacha Boisvert is going to put in the work. And the Blackhawks, there have been rumors for the last month about them having interest in Sacha Boisvert. So it's not the most surprising pick in the world. I had some players ranked ahead of him who I think maybe have a little bit of a higher ceiling, but I think this is another very safe-ish pick out of the Blackhawks, because I think Boisvert has a very high floor. He's going to be an NHLer, going to be a two-way player that can make impacts in all areas of the ice, and was also an alternate captain for the Muskegon Lumberjacks in the USHL. So a good leadership guy as well, but definitely just has to work on that foot speed and kind of rounding out his playmaking in college hockey, where I'd expect him to be there for 2 to 3 years.
All right. Well, for more on the Blackhawks, subscribe to Locked On Blackhawks on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. And for more on Sacha Boisvert, let's get the inside look on his path to the NHL.
Sacha Boisvert is a likely target for teams in the 20 to 30 range of the 2024 NHL Draft. But what makes him worth the bet? I'm Hadi Kalakash from Locked On NHL Prospects, ready to give you the breakdown. Boisvert is a 6', 280-pound left shot center who played for the Muskegon Lumberjacks in the USHL. He scored 36 goals and added 32 assists for 68 points in 61 games at that level. And he plays a power game. He loves to drop the shoulder and push through contact, drive the net, barrel through players. He's got solid physicality in those situations, but he's also a great defensive player. He has a natural feel for the game as well, and his goal scoring is just so incredibly diverse. He can score off the backhand, off the one-timer, off the wrister, you name it, he's got it. Boisvert's skating definitely needs work, and I think that fixing that problem is key to his projection in his situation, but I think he could become a player very similar to Anders Lee in the NHL. For more on Boisvert and all things NHL Draft, follow and subscribe to Locked On NHL Prospects on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
And for continuing coverage of the 2024 NHL Draft, subscribe to Locked On NHL on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. It's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.